You know what sound that is, folks. You betcha. It's another Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone. And our special guests today are Dr. Andrew Aswegan from Aurora Health and Tracy McHugh from Aurora Health Care Foundation. I got it right.
Nailed it.
I got it right. Well, thank you guys for being here and
Thanks
talking about the Emergency Medical Services Week, correct?
Yeah, the emergency medical services, as you know, with our ambulance services and in Elkhorn, through the Elkhorn Area Fire Department, this is the week that we celebrate them. So this is actually the 50th anniversary of EMS Week. It was a presidential proclamation by Gerald Ford in 1974 to have a week to celebrate EMS professionals, and this is our week.
Well, some of us here probably weren't even born in 1974, but we're not going to go there.
I was one.
Thank you guys for coming and sharing this. I think it's so important what our emergency medical services do. And when we say EMS or emergency medical services, who is that including for this week? Like, who are we actually celebrating specifically?
Well, this is our EMTs, our advanced EMTs and paramedics that run out of, all fire departments, or not all fire departments, but most of them. And specifically in this situation, we're going to recognize our local heroes at Elkhorn Area Fire Department. So, they have 7 paramedics over there, 9 advanced EMTs and 8 EMTs that run out of that department. And they're doing a great job every day.
And we're so fortunate that we have a full-time EMS service between fire and paramedics that not every community has that is our size, correct?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, we Elkhorn does cover some parts of town of Geneva as well. And then in addition to providing mutual aid when our other nearby communities need it, like LaGrange or Lyons, or Delavan, if they get multiple calls.
So you guys got a big event tonight at Culver's.
Yes.
Tracy, tell us about it.
Okay, so don't make dinner tonight. Come on down to Culver's between 5 and 8. We'll have our ambulance there. We're going to be doing hands-only CPR demonstrations. We'll have information about stroke awareness and all kinds of great information. A portion of the proceeds from the dinner sales that night or tonight will benefit our EMS program. So we'll use those funds for training opportunities and equipment that maybe isn't in our budget, and it's a way to give back and celebrate all of these hardworking EMS people.
So adding to that, what if we get hungry on the 23rd? What do we do?
Perfect. You come on over to the Pizza Ranch too in Elkhorn. We're doing basically the same thing. So whether you like burgers or pizza, we'll have an option for you to support our local EMS.
Excellent. Great. Well, I hope people get out and stop by both places.
I think people should do both for sure.
I would agree. I wanted to add, going back to the EMS services we have. I know you talked a little bit about Elkhorn Fire and Elkhorn paramedics rescue. We also have a lot of EMS services that kind of float around our county, don't we? That provide assistance or maybe advanced medical care. Do we still have that around, those other services?
Yeah, not as much as there was in the past.
Okay.
In the past, a lot of the towns were having trouble being staffed. And things have really improved in the last few years, and I'm very proud of the community for that. And so Elkhorn, for instance, didn't always have they weren't always staffed. So now that they have 24-hour staffing, they have 2 crews on, so they can respond to multiple calls. If there's something serious, both crews can go out, and we've had some great saves out there in regards to people suffering from heart attacks or severe car crashes where they've saved a lot of people, and really have come a long way. So big shout out to those EMS professionals.
Yeah, the response times around here are amazing. And imagine not having to have volunteers respond to the department to get the equipment and then to the call, and just going right from the department to the call.
Yeah. The other nice thing is, Aurora provides medical direction for them. So, as their EMS medical director, so I oversee all of their procedures and protocols, and help them kind of implement new policies. And it's great that we're able to form that partnership and be so close. So, for instance, when we do trainings and things like that, we can have them over at our building by the hospital here, and if there's calls, we can go from calls right over here. So it's been a great partnership with Aurora and Elkhorn area fire departments.
Do you have any advice for just people? When do I call 911? What level does it have to get to? Or if I'm that person that's debating, like, I don't know if I should call 911, I don't know who I should call. Is it an emergency for me or not?
It's always better to err on the side of caution. So that's a great question, but if you're having chest pain, trouble breathing, someone's passed out, having a seizure, absolutely you should call 911. That's much preferable to not and trying to drive yourself into the hospital. Our EMS medical providers are very capable of treating things on scene. And even though sometimes you think it might be faster to go to the hospital, if we can get them on scene, and they're, like you said, their response times are excellent. They can get there and start treatment immediately for life-threatening things, and then get you safely to the hospital.
So do ambulances have direct contact with medical services at the emergency room or hospital?
Yep, absolutely. So any questions they have, they can call in, and any emergency physician like myself that's working will take the call and give them medical advice. I think the other thing I want to point out is that Aurora, being the level 3 trauma center in the county, as the only one, is that we're getting those patients directly. If something is more serious and needs to go to a level 1 trauma center, like in Milwaukee or Madison, sometimes those patients will get flown out. But otherwise, we're taking those patients, and they can call into the emergency department and get that advice.
Okay, so really, you're getting the paramedics and all who are highly trained are getting directives from a doctor as well. Yep,
absolutely. But our paramedics at Elkhorn are great. There's 7 of them now, and like I said, we do monthly trainings with them.
Yeah.
And they are just on the ball with stuff. We go over all sorts of scenarios. We have a ton of simulation equipment. We have simulators that can, do so much. For instance, we've been doing stuff with amputations and applying tourniquets and people that are bleeding out or people that need airways placed. And we can do all of that over here. And they seem to get a lot out of it. And we've really made, a lot of great strides, and that partnership is as strong as ever.
What information is important when making that call? So I call 911. What information is important? And maybe you could briefly describe the difference between a sign and a symptom.
Okay, sure. So a symptom would be something that the person feels, let's say, such as I'm having chest pain. Whereas a sign would be something that's objective. So if you listen to someone's heart and their heart is beating too fast, that's called tachycardia. And that would be a sign that something may be awry. The information that is best to know, certainly if you're calling for someone else, if you're calling for yourself, we need to know the age of the person, what their main symptoms are. And then if it is something very serious, as if they're not breathing well or they're not responding, those are things you want to say up front, so that the dispatchers will get they'll get the ambulance, kind of on their way while they're still getting the rest of the information.
Which I would assume would speed up care when they get there, if they have more information or the appropriate information.
Yeah, absolutely. Having the appropriate information, as much information as you can give, is optimal. And we do. Aurora does medical direction for the Walworth County Dispatch Center as well. So we work directly with them. They're kind of, they can almost be classified in with EMS because they're kind of the front of the front, getting that first call and getting the right people out to the right place. And
So Tracy, talk a little bit about the Advocate Aurora Foundation. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Aurora Health Care
Foundation.
Foundation, I believe.
Like your role, and then talk about how that intersects with National EMS Week.
So my role with the foundation is I work with individuals and businesses, community partners that want to give back to the organization. There's multiple ways that they can do that. They can share their story with us on how they were impacted by the life-saving care that they received. They can volunteer their time. They can volunteer their time at the hospital or various events, or they can make a donation to a program that is close to their heart so they can make a difference for other patients as well. So that's my primary focus with Aurora. And bringing in this community impact night with Culver's and Pizza Ranch is a great way for us to bring in those extra revenue donation dollars and gifts for the EMS programs.
If someone wanted to help support the Aurora Health Foundation, how could they do that? Who do they call? Where do they call? Is there a general number? Do they just ask for you?
They could call me at my offices over at Lakeland Hospital. The nice thing about the Aurora Health Care Foundation is 100% of the donation is tax deductible and stays locally. The donor can decide and dictate where they want that to go. So there's a variety of different buckets that donation could go into: cancer services lines, the EMS fund, cardiac. It depends on where their passion really lies and how they want to direct that gift.
Are you doing any fundraising at tonight's event, or is it just make awareness and celebrate our EMS professionals?
It's kind of a win-win. We've got information for the community on information that they can learn for stroke awareness and various topics. But if they would like to make a donation, we would certainly accept that as well.
Yeah.
We do have a big fundraiser coming up October 19th at the Lake Geneva Yacht Club, though, and that is for our expansion at the ER for Aurora Lakeland Medical Center. And maybe Dr. Andy can talk a little bit about that. It's a huge project that is starting here very soon.
Yeah, they're going to expand the emergency department and the ambulance bay, so this will be helpful for our EMS services as well. But the first expansion is going to be 7,800 square feet of new emergency department space. And then once that is done, they're going to revamp the current emergency department space. So there'll be added rooms. All of the rooms will be private, and it's going to be a much more functional space for us to help take care of the people of Walworth County and Elkhorn.
That's exciting.
That's really exciting. Well, John, you're a member at the Yacht Club, so just let us know.
Yeah, me and Kenny Chesney.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, we appreciate everything you guys are doing. We're so thankful you guys were on the Noon Whistle. And as we start to get close to the end time here, everybody who's tuning in, or somebody, head down tonight to Culver's from 5 to 8. Celebrate our EMS professionals, learn a little bit, eat a little bit. And if you can't make it on tonight, make sure you go on the 23rd. And they'll also be there doing the same thing at the Pizza Ranch. So thank you so much for you guys being on. But we always like to close with shout outs. John, who do you got? Thank yous, shout outs.
I'm sticking with the theme of EMS, but I'd also like to remind people to be considerate, take time to thank someone that maybe you bump into at a restaurant or getting lunch or something like that. Just make sure you tell them thank you for all they do, and be considerate when you see an ambulance, and move over and let them do their job. So thank you to all the EMS professionals. Thank you two for taking time with us today.
Oh, thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank you, John and Chris. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. And I'm going to give a shout out to Aurora, because I've been meeting with, it's tough because it's Anya and Anna. So it's Anna Helbig, correct? And Anya Horner. And we are excited to announce a partnership with Aurora. They are going to set aside a CNA-YA for Elkhorn students only starting in September. And that we also established a 32-week partnership where upcoming seniors will be able to apply, and we'll have 4 students at $18 an hour who will rotate through 8-week shifts, and with the goal of being future employees. So we really appreciate that partnership. And believe it or not, John, that started through LinkedIn with one message to Anya after she spoke at Rotary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
I don't know if he's a fellow Rotarian yet, but maybe someday. So anything else to celebrate? Anything you want to announce for tonight's big event before we go?
No, those Culver's shakes. I mean, I don't know what the flavor is tonight, but I'm looking forward to whatever it is. I'll have 3 or 4 of them, I'm sure.
You can't go wrong.
All right, let's go around the room. Pick your favorite ice cream. If you had your choice, what is it? We'll start. Go ahead, Doctor.
Praline pecan for me.
Ooh, okay. Tracy?
I'll say mint chocolate chip.
Good, that's a good one. Johnny?
I'm a chocolate guy.
All right, well, just plain chocolate?
Just plain chocolate. Give me a chocolate malt. I'm good.
All right, well, I'm going to go with chocolate and more chocolate. Give me Oreos and M&Ms and chocolate fudge and load it up. But anyways, all right, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being on. We appreciate all your time. And on that note, we got to go back to work, John.
We do. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.